Hi, in this video I wanted to show you some of the long-term reliability concerns I have with some of the cheap multimeters. Here I have an analogic EM860T true RMS multimeter, and for those who have been following my channel, you probably have seen me using it in many of my videos in the past. And to be honest, I really like this meter for its large and clear displays and decent measurement specifications. It is a 6,000 counts meter and appear to be quite solidly built. I even hacked it with an IR transmitter here, so I could do data logging on the computer. I will provide links below for those who are interested in the review and modifications. But I haven't been using it in my recent videos, and in fact I haven't been using it for a long time, probably for over a year, and the reason is actually I misplaced it at some point, and it somehow dropped behind my desk, and it was only until recently, a few days ago, while I was doing some cleaning up, I found it sitting on the floor. So of course I was quite excited and I wanted to put it back to work again. And I put in a fresh battery and everything appeared to be working perfectly until I went ahead and measured the mains voltage with this meter. Again, at first the meter was giving the correct voltage reading at around 117 volts. But then I heard the meter started to beep, and here is what it looks like. Now let me power it on and just show you. Oh, don't worry about the segment missing here, and that has nothing to do with it. I actually opened it up trying to figure out what was going wrong, thinking it might be a blown fuse or a shorted protection diode, but there wasn't anything that was obviously wrong with the peripherals. But anyway, so you can see that as soon as I power it on, it changes some ranges and it started showing this over range display is on. And same for the DC voltage. And for the millivolts, it just simply shows overload. In fact, it doesn't really respond to the lead input anymore. And for the ohm, and you can see that it doesn't respond to any input either. And same with the discontinuity, and it just kind of constantly beeping. For the frequency measurement, it is not totally dead, but I did try it, and in fact it was giving some erroneous readings as well. So you can see that the temperature reading doesn't work, and the current measurement simply beeps as well, and it doesn't really matter which plug I plug it in. So clearly something is went horribly wrong, and obviously none of the ranges are working. So, and in fact the other things does seem to work. For example, the hold and the backlight, for example, is working. Well, right now the battery is low. Actually, that battery low sign is flickering, but it's not because of the battery is low. There's some other issues, I guess. Anyway, so you know, the min-max, this works, and but the meter itself is totally dead. So my conclusion is that actually after looking at the circuit board inside and trying to measure some of the components, and I couldn't find any obvious thing that was wrong with this. So my conclusion is that an ESD event may have just damaged the core IC in this case. Well, some people will say, okay, you shouldn't have just used this meter to measure the mains voltage, but this is a Cat 3 rated meter, and although even if it's not Cat 3 rated, Cat 2 rated, you still can, in theory, being able to measure mains voltage in any of the ranges without causing harm to the meter. And in fact, when I was measuring the mains voltage, I was using the correct AC volt range. So anyway, so clearly this meter has, well, I have somehow managed to destroy the meter. And so that's the end of this meter. And that's quite sad because as you can see that the display was really nice. And this meter really has all the bells and whistles that you wouldn't want as your everyday multimeter. But nevertheless, it is one of the off brands, and it certainly is not that cheap. And this one probably was $50 or something, but nevertheless, it's not one of the brandy multimeters. So anyway, so this one had clearly died on me. And this is just one of the many cheap multimeters I have. In fact, I quickly took a look at another cheap meter I had. In fact, I haven't been using this one for the past couple months either. And this one is a clamp meter I also did a review on, and it appeared to be a very good value for $20-some. You get this clamp meter with all the functionality that you might run into in your daily use. But again, look at this meter. So right now, I can already see some problem, even though I haven't been using it heavily. And in fact, I can feel that the switch is a little bit of touchy now. So here you go. So did you hear that? So basically, this is well, it's pointing to the 40 amps, but it's really not connected correctly. So you have to wiggle it and to make it pointing to the 40 amp range. And if it depends on how you switched it, it might be a little bit of a sticky here. So again, this is some of the symptoms that you probably would run into with these cheap meters. So these cheap meters usually are pretty good when they were new, and their specifications probably meets or exceeds what it's specified. So that's all good, but as time goes on, they do tend to fail in one way or another, and sometimes quite unpredictably. And in this case, and in a lot of cases, in fact, the switch is one of the weakest point that I have seen. But for this analogic meter, obviously the whole meter was just gone. So clearly there's something to be said about using these cheap meters, and that's something that you just need to be aware of. So again, here I have another meter. This one is relatively newish. I mean, I think I purchased it within the last year or so. And this one, so far has been holding up pretty well, but the switch doesn't really instill a lot of confidence. In fact, the switch, you can see that it gives a little bit of play sometimes, and they may not connect to the correct range all the time. So I suspect that after a few more years, or just simply after some heavy uses, this one also going to exhibit similar problems. So now one of the meters I use, and you saw me using quite often, is this BK Precision meter. And this one really is it's a proper lab meter. And even though I had this the longest, and it hasn't given me any issue at all. In fact, it's been dropped, it's been misused, it's been left in the garage, and it even been like some iron. I think the hot iron actually got on the knob. But nevertheless, this meter, you feel the switches give you a solid feel, and it definitely instills a lot of confidence in your measurement. In fact, I haven't had any problem with this meter at all. So I guess the moral of the story is that if you are serious about doing electronics, you should at least have one of these proper professional grade meters with you, so that not only that you can trust it, the trusted readings, and also this meter likely would last for a long time. But there's nothing against these cheap meters. After all, you can get this the Anon one for about $10, $15 a pop, and if it does go bad, you can always buy another one. In fact, you can buy 10 of these with the price of one of this BK Precision 2709. So I suppose it does has its place, and you can easily carry this small one around with you. So there's nothing against these cheap meters, but nevertheless, just something to remember about. And certainly from my own experience, at least you can see in this video, that the long-term reliability of these cheap meters certainly is a big concern here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to catch up with you next time.